Hi, y'all. I'm Whitney Carrion. Super nice to meet you guys. I have been in the network marketing industry for 5 years. I'm somebody who has had to do my taxes pretty much on my own, though, since 2011, because I've been an independent business owner since then. I've either owned gyms or owned other side businesses in the network marketing industry or just another industry in which I've always had to do taxes on my own. And the good news is, as you grow and learn in your business experience, your income starts increasing, which is fantastic. But the level of difficulty to perform your own tax duties, of course, then increases as well. And so I found Courtney and her fantastic tax team after a couple years of going through different types of individuals who were in the tax pro arena, but my experience with them was by far subpar. I would have to email them all the time to get updates. I would constantly have to make sure that they were dotting I's and crossing T's. And it ended up being that I was paying a rather premium price for a very, again, subpar service. I never knew what I was getting. I felt like a lot of the tax information that I was getting, along with the documents that they were submitting to me, were very shisty. They didn't have like a second stamp of approval on them. I felt like they didn't maybe go through all the checks and balances to ensure quality assurance and just overall quality control. And so I told myself, I'm entering my largest year income producing ever. And I have all these different new tax laws I have to navigate, all this different accounting and payroll, all these things that I have to try to figure out to navigate. I really need to find somebody who's professional, who knows their stuff, somebody who's going to basically take the weight of what I have to handle off of my shoulders, off of my plate, and just tackle it seamlessly and in a way that I feel confident about what they're doing. And I'm not having to double check in on them. And I can just basically pay a fee and have them tackle everything. I felt like I was looking for a unicorn. I felt like the type of service that I was looking for didn't exist. But I was really hoping that it would exist, for one, and then for two, would exist within my budget. So I started asking different peers of mine in the network marketing industry, people who are producing 6 and 7 figure incomes, multi 6 and 7 figure incomes. And I said, well, surely those people who are producing large amounts will be able to have someone to recommend to me. And hence, I came across my very good friend, Amber Duluth, who is a peer in my company and then in my industry in general. And she could not rave enough about Courtney Epps and her team. I ran her through the ringer too. I asked all the hard questions. I said, look, this is what I wound up paying in back taxes last year. This is what I experienced in the year prior. And Courtney said, oh, honey, she kind of laughed at the turmoil that I had experienced and went on to share all the mess that she had in her taxes and her accounting and developing her LLC and then turning it into an S Corp. And I just was like, whoa. And she said, you have no idea the amount of money and stress that she saved me. And her team never made me feel stupid. They never made me feel like a bad kid. They never made me feel small. They just took control of my very chaotic and messy situation, fixed it, made sure that I was straight with the IRS, and then really went out of their way to take the extra measures to protect my business, to protect my licensing, to protect all of the things that I needed when I got into this entrepreneurial space. And so I said, all right, let's do this thing. So it was actually very simple. I messaged Courtney one-on-one on Facebook Messenger. And I said, look, this is who I am. This is what I'm averaging every year. I expect it to only go up from here, fingers crossed. And I really need somebody who is hands-on completely in my accounting, somebody who's going to basically, I'm just going to throw money at them and they're going to handle everything and they're going to make sure that I am in line with all the requirements I need to have for the IRS, but also ensure that I have my business stuff in alignment too, so that I'm not overpaying, I'm not underpaying, like I'm doing exactly what I should be doing, and helping me understand also what expenses I need to be filing under business expenses, what are personal expenses, et cetera, because I've always just had to figure this out on my own. Courtney was very professional. I booked a phone call with her. I immediately loved her. She walked me through all the different services that the team offers. And it was basically, I just told them over and over, I said, look, I'm not looking to pay a huge amount, but at the same time, I would rather pay a larger amount to somebody who's going to take care of all of this for me so that I'm not totally and completely broke because I'm paying ridiculous amounts of taxes that I shouldn't be paying based on all of the write-offs that I'm sure I know nothing about. Courtney and her team have been nothing short of fantastic to work with. I get an invoice every month. I pay the invoice. If they have questions, they answer the questions. And let me just tell you this, that I found this company. I found Courtney and her team, I think it was around February or March of 2020. And I had all of my 2019 taxes yet left to do. And I said, I don't know if this is a mess. I don't know if this is like late in the new year to get this taken care of, but I really need somebody to take what I have and help me fix it. And they didn't even blink, didn't even bat an eye. They said, okay, we're going to charge you this much to do your payroll. We're going to charge you this much to have access to your accounts. And then we're just going to bing, bang, boom, handle it. And I thought I was going to have to be so much more involved than I was. And they made it very simple. Now I don't have to save receipts because they can just see it come out of my account. Now I don't have to like keep track of ridiculous spending. Like it's all there. And before, I mean, you guys, I had like a whole closet full of just receipts and I would just have to go through them myself and like figure it out and like where did I go on this date and what was my mileage on my car at this time, and it was awful. And I'm sure that I missed tons and tons and tons of money that I could have been saving because I just didn't know better, or every time of year that it would come around tax season, I would just get overwhelmed and just shut down. I can tell you that the service that I paid for, not only that when I added it all up, what I spent for Courtney and her team for the year, not only was that worth it, but I actually ended up making money back from the government. Turns out that I was paying way more than I should have been paying based on what my income was. And so not only that did I break even, but I also earned income on top of it back from the government, which was a huge surprise to me because for the last 5 years, y'all, where my income was like 50% of what it is now, I was paying out. I was paying out so much, it would leave me like shaking and scared and just feeling like I was going to be in trouble or go to jail because I didn't know how I was going to come up with that much money. That's how amazing her team is. That's what a breeze it has been to work with them. I cannot speak highly enough of them. When I got that check deposited in my bank account, I had to like double and triple check where the heck it was coming from because I was like, wait a minute, did I overpay Courtney and her team? Like, what is this? And when I saw that it was IRS tax return, I laughed and I called my husband and I said, remember that premium accounting service that you were afraid I was like paying crazy, ridiculous amounts for? Well, go ahead and check my bank account and see what just got deposited from the IRS because of them. As soon as that happened, let me just tell you that I went ahead and started popping Courtney in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different chats with friends of mine. And I just hit them up and I said, look, I don't know what your tax situation is like. I don't know who's handling your business accounting, but I will just tell you this. For the first time in 5 years, I got money back from the government. I've made more than I've ever made this year. So clearly she knows her stuff. The team is very well rehearsed and they stay on top of all of the changes and all of the guidelines that we need to be in so that we are golden and that we're taken care of well. So cannot recommend Courtney and her team high enough. So thanks, y'all.